Hey guys, and welcome to my latest video. Today I decided to do something a little different. I just received this box via UPS today. It was just delivered. And so let's take a look at what's inside, and then I'll explain a little bit about what this is all about. Alright, so let's open it up here. I've already taken the tape off for convenience sake. But yeah, I have in here. I'll bring them over here and show you. For convenience, I've already opened one of them. So inside this bubble wrap and inside all that bubble wrap is one of these, or 11 of these I should say. As you can see, it is a Nintendo 64. Now the thing with these though is they do not work. Now I bought 11 of these in a lot on eBay for $40 shipped, which I think was a pretty good deal. I think it comes out like $3 a piece, something like that. So I think it was a really good deal. As I said, they don't work. Let me give you a little background of why I decided to do this video. This video is actually inspired by a fellow YouTuber who recently did a video about a bunch of broken Sega systems he bought. This YouTuber will be Adam Koralik. I'll put a link in the description. You can check out his channel. Great channel. But what he did, he bought the lot of Sega systems that did not work, and he got them all, or most of them, to work, and ended up being a very good deal. So I decided to try basically the same thing, except with a bunch of Nintendo 64s. Now I didn't intend on buying 11 Nintendo 64s. I just wanted to buy a lot of broken retro systems, which I hope to fix, and in this case I'm going to resell them. Yeah. So that's the idea behind it. So what I'm going to do next is turn each one of these on and test them out individually and see what they do or don't do, and we'll go from there and see what we can do with them. Alright, so before I get to testing out the broken consoles, I have here hooked up a known working N64, just so I can make sure all the cables are hooked up correctly and the game works and all that. So let's just turn this on. I have it hooked up to my computer through a capture card, and it's going to output on the monitor here. So let's get this turned on. And we got the light, and over here we have video. And that's about enough as I need out of that. So we know this setup is working. So I'm going to take this, the first of the broken N64s, and hook it up here. And I'll be right back. Alright, so I've hooked up the first of the 11 broken consoles, and we're going to test it out in a second here. Note, I have not done anything to this yet. I have cleaned up the outside of the consoles, but that's it. I haven't opened them up or anything. So we're testing them out for the first time here, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so let's turn this on. And over here on the screen, it is actually booting up, which is a good sign. So we'll wait till this gets fully booted up so I can test out, make sure the controller works and everything. So supposedly all these consoles either didn't power up at all or had no video. And I think one of them had a stuck reset button. But this one here, so far, appears to be working perfectly fine. Yeah, so that's a success for the first one. So that's excellent. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with this one. Alright, so that's the first one out of the 11, so I'll go hook up the next one. Alright, so here I've hooked up the second N64. One thing to note about this one is it actually did not come with a jumper pack. 9 out of the 11 did come with one. Only 2 had the jumper pack in it. One thing to note is it does not work without the jumper pack. So basically what it is the jumper pack is in here. the Jumper Pak is actually just a placeholder for the expansion memory. If the Jumper Pak is not in the console, it won't work. It's not going to power. It'll power up, but it won't display any video. It's a special type of memory in the N64 that requires all memory slots in the system to be filled, and so that's basically what that is. But like I said, only 2 of them came with it, so that's a theory I actually had of why a lot of the units didn't seem to work to the person that sold these to me. So we'll see if that theory pans out. I actually took one of the Jumper Paks from one of the other consoles and put it in here. So let's boot it up and see what happens. Alright, so we turn it on. There's the power light. And we have video again, so looks like my theory may be correct. So far it seems 2 out of the 11 work perfectly fine. I'll let this go in and just test out the controller quickly, but other than that, we should be good. Alright, start. Up and down works fine. I hear audio, so yeah. This one, again, works perfectly fine. Alright, so I'll go and hook up the next one. Alright, so here we go with number 3. Again, this one did not come with a Jumper Pak, so I swapped out the Jumper Pak from one of the other consoles and put it in here. So let's turn it on and see what happens. We have power. And again, we have video. So far this is going absolutely perfect. Couldn't be better. Yeah, I think this is turning out to be just a case of the person that was testing the consoles really didn't know what they were doing. Mainly, I believe they just didn't bother putting a Jumper Pak in any of the consoles that didn't have it. And again, we have video, audio. Yep, so number 3 works perfectly fine. And on to the next one. And we're back with N64 number 4. Alright, so again, this one did not have a Jumper Pak. I put one of the other Jumper Paks in here. So let's boot it up and see what happens. And we have power. And we have video. Yep, this is definitely going very well. Let it boot up. Make sure we have audio and control. And we do. Excellent. So far 4 out of the 11 work perfectly fine. So let's move on to number 5. Alright, so here we go with number 5. I have it all hooked up here. I'm actually not expecting this one to work because, as you can see here, the reset button is actually stuck down. This is actually my fault. I pushed it down and now it won't come up. This was described in the on the auction listing, so yeah, this is the one with the sticky reset button. I'm pretty sure that can easily be fixed, but I'll most likely have to open this one up and clean it out on the inside to get that unstuck. But let's give it a try anyway, see what happens. Alright, so let's turn it on here. And nothing. Okay, that's kind of what I expected. Yeah, so far 4 out of the 11 work. So far only 1 does not work, so yeah, let's move on to the next one. Alright, so here we go with number 6. This one definitely was the worst condition externally. There's quite a few scratches all over it. It's quite dirty. I cleaned it up a bit, but still quite rough looking. There's actually a plastic piece broken off here, as you can see. But that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't work. Reset button works fine on this one. This one also did not come with a Jumper Pak. I put one of the other ones in here. But let's get right to it and power it right up and see if it works. Alright, so we have power, and we have video. Alright, so despite the external look of this console, it actually seems to work fine, at least internally. Let's let it go past all the loading screens here and see if we have control and audio. And here we are. Yes, it does work. So perfectly fine. Alright, so so far 5 out of 11, which is pretty good. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, so on to lucky number 7. This is another broken N64, supposedly. I did put a jumper pack in this one, as it did not come with one. Everything, reset button works. Everything seems to be alright outside. It's in pretty good condition overall. But let's see if it works. And on. The power button does seem to be a bit sticky. Okay, I am getting a no controller notification here. Let's just try unplugging it quickly and plugging it back in. It's possible it just needs to be cleaned up inside the contacts and everything. But let's give it another try here. Power button is definitely sticky, but that can most likely be fixed. Alright, so this one's just saying no controller. So yeah, that one is unsuccessful, but we're still at 5 out of 11, so that's pretty good. Alright, so let's move on to number 8. Okay, so here we have test unit number 8. Externally, as you can see, there's a plastic piece broken off the corner here. That's a bit rough condition, a few scratches here and there, but other than that, buttons work fine. Not sure about the power button yet, we'll see. But let's turn it on and see what happens. And turn it on, we have power. The power button seems to work fine. And we have video. So far so good. So hopefully, there we go, we have audio and control. Alright, so far we're at, I believe, 6 out of 11 work perfectly fine, which is excellent. A couple of them, hopefully I'll be able to get to work. Open them up, clean them up a bit, and see what happens. But yeah, let's move on to number 9. Alright, so here we are with 9 out of 11. This one, again, actually has a stuck reset button. It's stuck down, won't come back up here. So I'm assuming this is probably going to do the same thing as the other one and not displaying any video, but we'll see. So let's just turn it on. We have power. Oh, and we do have video. Oh, that's interesting. So apparently the reset button being stuck down doesn't cause no video to display. So there must be something different wrong with the other one, but hopefully we can still do something with it. But let's let this go all the way and do the final tests here. And we have audio and controls. Okay, so this one does work aside from the stuck reset button, which should pretty easily be fixed by opening it up and just cleaning out whatever's stuck around the button. But yeah, let's move on to number 10. All right, so here we are with number 10. This one actually already had a jumper pack in it. As you can see here, has actually never been taken out, still has a sticker on it. So I'm curious to see what this one does, since obviously the jumper pack wouldn't have been the problem if this didn't turn on. But we'll see. So let's power it up. And we have power. But we do not appear to have any video. Alright, so this one is definitely going to have to be fixed. So I'll open this one up later and see what I can do with it. But so far we're still at 7 out of the 11 that worked, so that's pretty good. So let's move on to the last one. Alright, so here we are with the final N64 to test. I have pretty high expectations for this one because it's in pretty good condition externally, and it did have the missing jumper pack, so I'm assuming that's going to be the problem with this one. I see nothing else wrong with it, so let's boot it up and see what happens. And we have power, and we have video. Excellent. Yeah, that looks like 8 out of the 11 work perfectly fine. And 3 of them most likely can be fixed pretty easily, but we'll see. I'm just going to open them up and see what I can do with them. Just clean them out, see if there's anything obvious that's sticking out that might be wrong with it. But yeah, this one works fine. So yeah, next step is just to see if I can fix the other ones. But this one works perfectly fine. So let's move on. Alright guys, so I actually have some very good news. I just got finished taking a look at all 3 of the consoles that did not work, and I managed to fix every one of them. Uh, believe it or not, I didn't even have to open them. I'll go through each one real quick here and tell you what I did. So with this one here, this is the one that had, or one of the ones that had the stuck reset switch. Basically all I did was I took a tiny flathead screwdriver and kind of pried up the button, and then just kind of repeatedly tapped it until it was sufficiently loose. Now it works perfectly fine. As you might recall, this one had no video when I tried to turn it on, and now it does. So yeah, this one now works perfectly fine. The reset button's nice and loose now, so yeah. So far we're up to 9 out of the 11 working. So next up we have this one here, which was perfectly fine on the outside. This is one of my best looking ones externally, but it wouldn't show any video when I turned it on. But it turns out that the jumper pack that's in here, which was in here when I got it, and looks like it's never been taken out since the sticker's still there, but the jumper pack is defective. I swapped out this jumper pack for the one that was working, and it powered up fine. Showed video, audio, controls work fine, so yeah, so the jumper pack does not work. I did try cleaning the contacts on the jumper pack with some rubbing alcohol, but did no good. So yeah, so the jumper pack's no good, but the console itself works fine. So that's 2 out of the 3 that didn't work. Also, I should mention the one that did work that had the stuck reset button, I also did the same thing with that one and loosened up the reset button on that one as well. So that one's working perfectly now. Alright, so the final one is this one here, which is actually pretty simple to fix. This is the one that had the, I turned it on and it said no controller, or could not find controller, something like that. So basically all I did, I blew in the controller port here and tried it again, and it worked fine. I've plugged the controller, taken it in and out a few times, and it consistently works now. So I think it's the same basic method you use when your NES isn't working. Just blow in the controller port or blow in the cartridge port, whatever. You know, it's the same basic concept. There's probably just some piece of dirt in there that was preventing the controller from getting correct contact. So yeah, this one works fine now. This one does have this is the one with the sticky power button. I mean, it doesn't really affect the way it works. I mean, it works fine even though it's very hard to push the power button, but I will open this one up later and try and get that loosened up. But yeah, I did figure out that these consoles actually have proprietary screws on the bottom, so I wasn't able to actually open them up. That's why I tried to fix them without opening them. So, and it worked out because all of them now work. So yeah, this has been my video about my 11 broken N64s that I ordered, and which are now all working. So it turned out to be a really good deal. So I'm extremely happy about it. Thanks to Adam Koralik for the idea for this video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks for watching.